What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Today we're going to talk about the richest car in the California Department of Corrections. I wanted to put them on the thumbnail, but then I said no, little suspense. I'm wondering, matter of fact, pause right now. Pause. It's funny when people say that shit. Pause right now, those of you that want to participate. And in the comments, tell me who you guys believe is the richest car. Now, those of you that have been in the CDC, you guys already know. But because there's two cars that to me come to mind. Only one's correct. All right. So now we're going to get back to the video. By far, the richest, wealthiest car in the California Department of Corrections is the Native Americans. The Native Americans. And somebody asked me the other day, because I mentioned them being the richest. And somebody asked me, how are they the richest? Why are they the richest? Because in California, some tribes have legalized gambling on the reservation. And all the money generated through the reservation, the casino, it's all divided up. It's divvied up amongst the whole reservation. It has created issues where there have been reservations that went at it. I remember, I think it was the Pomo Indians in Santa Rosa in 96, I think. Some people died. There was a dispute over the allocation of funds, and it's gotten to the point where some reservations, like if you have 3 kids, let's say you and your lady, and you're whatever band of Native Americans it has a casino. Coco just jumped up there. Look at her, like she's going to Mars. And you and your lady decide that you're gonna have 5 kids. Well, now, when you guys got together, there was only the 2 of you. Now you have 5 kids. Those 5 children cut in to everyone else's cut because now they have to get their amount. The parents get it until the kids are 18. So at 5 kids, you and your wife, and then the 5 kids, that is a lot of money. Okay. So in the CDC, when you're slinging dope, what you really, really want is you want your clientele. If you can lock in 2 natives, you're straight. It depends. Some of them get $10,000 a month. Some I think it was $18,000, $20,000 a month in prison. I knew a dude who he was getting his money and he had 2 kids. He was getting their money. It was crazy. This dude had so much money. And I did have one locked in, right? And prior to him coming to me though, because what I did, I used to have dudes, it was easy. It made things easier for me, but I was also helping other homies, right? So I would find a homie that, I would ask him, hey, if I took a liking to him, say, hey, you want to make some feria? Want to make some money? Yeah, what's up? Say, look, I'll give you some dope, right? And I'm going to give you papers, find out if you know people on the yard, if they're trying to buy grams, if they're trying to buy quarter grams, which we call cuartitos. They're trying to buy grams, cuartitos, paper, $50 papers. Let me know and I'll get you what you need. Well, I had one dude, man. He was from Logan Heights. And this cat was a hustler, man. I remember one time, the first time I gave him a gram, I said, here, Holmes. Because he had been working for other dudes before and they left. And so I heard about him that he had good hustle, right? So I said, here, Holmes, here's a gram. I want to see what you bring me back. That's gonna solidify what you and I do together, right? The dude brought me back 1,300. He brought me back my collection slip, and he's like, "Look here, 1,300." I said, "How the fuck you make 1,300 off a gram, fool?" He's like, "I do my thing." Well, I come to find out later, he was shipping his work off on somebody else that had connections, cutting him in on his profits, and he got my buddy that was a Native American, but I didn't know the dude yet, right? And he got him for like 800 of the 13, and he was actually a homie, but he was Native, right? And he went to the homie, one of the other meseros, the oldest dude on the mesa. They knew each other from another yard. They actually had whacked somebody together, right? And this dude had so much money, and that's one of the bad things. The natives that do use, they have so much money that they're always slamming. If something happens, we go on lockdown or something, they go through it because they have to kick the heroin all of a sudden, right? And this dude went crying to the homie, and I happened to be standing there, and he's like, "Hey," he's like, "Look, homie," he goes, I was fucking Malias. He goes, "These vatos papered me to death, Holmes." He goes, they wouldn't sell me a quarter gram, they wouldn't sell me a gram, this and that. And the homie's like, "Is that right?" And he looks at me and he's like, "Hey, Holmes, you got anything?" I was like, "Yeah, I got some." And he's like, "Hey, can you help the homie out?" I was like, "Yeah, what you need?" And so I did a transaction with him. But I didn't know until I went in, because the other homie asked me, the one that was a mesero. He's like, "Hey, you know anything about that? It would have to be your dope." Where you said, I said, "I have to ask the homie." And I asked the homie from Logan, "Hey, Holmes, is he on the list?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's his name right there. That's the name that it'll come under. That's his name." I was like, "Damn, let's be nicer to that guy." And sure enough, that dude would be willing to buy your whole clavo, the whole whatever you brought in. He'd be like, "I'll buy the whole thing." Now, I'm not gonna lie, greed does something to you when you're in that world, and I'm guilty of being greedy. Anybody that has sold dope, this. You hit your first lick, right? You do your first thing, boom. And when it's over, you count up the money that you made, and you're like, "Orale, if I can double the dope, I can double the money." Then you do your next thing, boom, and then you do it. You double your money, and again, it's not enough. I'm gonna double this, and it's always you want to double, you want to double, you always want more. That's the evil nature of selling dope and making dirty money, right? You make that dirty fast money, you don't see a limit. You're like, "I just need more." And that's why I've said before, where I would bring in, like, one weekend I would bring in black, maybe the next weekend I would bring in white. I had stopped it at one point. I had actually stopped white from coming in. Crank, meth, all that was not allowed, at least for the Southerner. Couldn't bring it in, couldn't sell it. It was making dudes lock up and they just freak out, and I was like, nope. But I always made sure I brought in weed now and then too, because weed money is great money. Those guys don't run up a fucking crazy debt like the other substances will do. But anyways, again, by far the Native Americans, if they wanted to buy all the dope. Boom, I want it all. Whatever you're willing to give me, I want it. Boom, just give me the address, I got you. Right? Then it went to green dots and all this other shit. But not only that, if your prison that you're in had a food sale, oh my goodness, the natives fuck around and have a pizza sale. The natives, they bring a cart for their fucking order. They got pizza boxes stacked down there from the floor to like halfway up to the ceiling, and there's like 2 rows of them. They were living large, man. Packages like crazy. And that just reminded me of how when people say, man, people in prison got it good. They get 3 hots in a cot. There's no 3 hot meals. There's only 2 hot meals, and they're lukewarm. The other one is a sack lunch that you get with your breakfast. But I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, you might not have bills to pay unless you're, using. You might, like, some of the stresses. Well, the stresses that come with living in society are gone. but you can be killed or have to, or you can be killed or called upon to try to kill someone else at any moment. So all that, they got it good. They can kick back and watch TV. Kick back and watch TV. You don't know if your Sally might go crazy tonight and try to kill you when you're in your sleep. So that's why, people, we parole with this PTSD. You are on combat status 24 hours a day for your entire term. But shout out to the natives. You rich motherfuckers. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, the United States was theirs. They don't have it. They have reservations and some casino money. So they lost a lot to gain a little. They're getting better money than a lot of us, right? But still, they lost a lot in the process. Anyways, that's my video for today. It's a Sunday. I'm tired. I'm sure you guys are recuperating as well. I didn't drink or nothing. Coco had me up on it. Like, where is she? Oh, she jumped out. I don't know where she's at. Anyways, everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out.